Alright, and 1, 2, and 3. And here we are. Welcome aboard. Good evening, all of that. Now, it is actually a bit too early for our first LFM race today, but I have decided to go green early today because I want to test something. And by something, I mean this technological marvel right here, which I can speak into, and then you guys can actually hear my voice and not a cheap reproduction of my voice, produced by a tin can that is this thing. So, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to make you guys suffer for a second. Okay. Seems to sound good. Is it a bit too loud, maybe? I think for the race, I'm gonna be sitting a bit further away. Tell me if it's too loud. I mean, we're sitting in the menu right now anyway, but Moinsen, Monari. I'm gonna make it a tiny bit quieter, and then if I'm too quiet while racing, you guys can tell me. But right now in the menu, it's a bit hard to judge. Alright. I do believe I've set it up in a way that will not be getting in my way whenever I do this. No matter what I do, I think I can go pretty wild and nothing's gonna happen. Sign up for the Pro Series race at Kyalami at 8 PM. You too? No! Because, well, take a guess, why not? But I wish you good luck, my friend. I mean, I would love to do the Pro Series race at Kyalami, but it's not gonna happen. Unless miracles happen, but I don't think even miracles can do that. Let me check. No. No miracles. No chance. A safety rating, mate. What do you think? I'm still on 4.5. I haven't done any races since the last time. And I would need 2 points of extra safety rating to get into the Pro Series, which I'm not going to be getting in one race. No worries. But I'm going to be honest, I'm more excited for Spa today. I'll, have more motivation for Spa today than for Kyalami. What's interesting is that I've actually driven this thing a few laps around here today. Just to get into the rhythm again. And I didn't really get that much into the rhythm because this thing seems changed. It feels like the rear lost grip and you have to brake a tiny bit earlier, which may coincide with the rear losing grip. I was still able to do some good times. And I think if I got a clean lap, I would be on more or less the same pace I was on last time. But, oh, there we go. Split 1. Boom. Did I get moved down to split 2 in the last second or something? Yeah, I did. Okay. Interesting. Split 2 at Spa. You can see LFM is getting more popular in the way that I've basically been in split 1 perpetually since I got, the license to go into the normal races. But then since the last few times, I've actually gotten into split 2 twice. Spa yesterday in the Audi was mega. P4 and split 4 of 8. Okay. Good stuff. Audi is a strong one here, I think, right? And so is the Honda. But it definitely feels more, well, it feels trickier. Let's not do any fancy words. It feels trickier than last time. I really hope that not only my voice is sounding alright, but also you're not getting any weird bumps and stuff when I do this. I mean, you're definitely gonna hear it, and probably gonna hear this as well. And probably want to go over curbs as well. We'll see. The thing is, this is a cardioid microphone, which does mean that this side gets a lot more sound than this side. And my steering wheel is, guess what, on this side. So, if I move over here, you can probably hear and see that I look stupid, but you can also probably hear that I sound like I'm way over there. There we go. Okay, shit. I should get ready for this one. setup. Give me the V James. Actually, perfect temps right now.
Green light, go, go, go.
Okay. Let's do this. Got a tiny bit of fractal.
Got some light damage on the front.
Fuck you. Eat a bag of shit. Unbelievable. Report him. Maybe. We'll see. That definitely looked like a brake check. Okay. Get out of me. Okay, so. Tiny bit of practice, not a lot. Thank you. I'm gonna need the luck to actually increase my safety rating, which is still my main goal in LFM, really. I think I should have a pretty good chance on pace, but getting through this cleanly, we'll see about that. I feel like I'm not sitting perfectly, but who knows. I've never actually tried driving with this thing attached, so it might be a bit distracting at first, but like I said, I should be able to pretty much do anything I usually do without it getting in the way. Drive around people, avoid them as much as you can. That's the plan. It's always easier said than done. Yeah, let's get ready for this.
Yellow flag, be careful.
I'm definitely further back than I was intending and should have been. Okay, I'm gonna be honest, this Bentley seems a bit slow. At least he did seem slow on the outlap. But we'll see. Oh, who died? Probably RTG'd already. Are we still? No, we're on optimum. Front brakes are getting a bit cold.
Yellow flag accepted.
Oh, okay, that was a bit heavy. Okay, this Bentley does indeed seem slow. Six of ships in the meantime. Alright, enjoy. Ah, okay, lucky. I was about to say I'm gonna get one lap in, behind this Bentley, and then I have to back off to not run into him in the second lap. But he has done the fuck. Oh. Yeah, it's definitely too late. Get out of the fucking corner, man. Terrible final corner.
But not bad. Was not bad. Yellow flag, be careful.
One other Honda in here, who got a pretty clean lap, it seems. But yeah, I should be able to do one of those as well. So, not if I do that.
Slow car here.
Fucking train is honking outside, are you serious?
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
I think, you know what? I'm gonna back out of this one, go back to the pits, so that I get 3 more laps. Because I didn't take a lot of fuel on that first lap. Okay, but it seems that I'm in a very, very nice position on track right now. So I hope to actually stay in this position. And if I do, I get 3 clean laps. Could be that someone gets out of the pits right in front of me, but we'll see about that. I think the majority of that time on my current lap is lost in the final sector, well, in the bus stop. But there's a tiny bit to be gained basically everywhere, I think. Okay, let's do this again. A bit too early on the brakes. Wasn't expecting to be too early though. No, was that bounce necessary? It's probably still another 100 or 2. perfect. Is this guy gonna be holding me up? Please don't. Okay. Interesting. What the fuck? What the fuck was that? Huh? I've never had that before, and it's this invalidated my final lap. What the fuck was that? What is this car doing? Huh? Did I touch? I mean, usually that's not a problem for this thing. Not at all. But that completely fucked it up. Yeah, I know I touched it, but that generally shouldn't be a problem. There's something weird about this car recently. That is definitely not what should happen. What did I do here? I think, yeah, this is what I missed, right? Yeah. Didn't I touch it? Yeah, I touched it here as well. You can see the spinning of the wheel started there. I know it started there. The thing is, it also started spinning here. But I didn't even touch it. There we go. It's already drifting. Phew. Absolute bag of shit, this thing. Unbelievable. Let's see if that happens in the race. If it does, I'll be angry. I'm already angry at this thing. That is not something that's ever happened before. I mean, sliding around the first part of the bus stop, that's happened before, for sure, but then just completely losing control and snapping back in the second part, that's not happened. That's new. Dumb, but that's the way it is. Oh, Assetto Rush is here. Nice. Come on, lads. Saxara is still out on track. Wonder if the Merc's gotten any faster here, because his time is not bad at all for a Merc. My time is pretty fucking bad for a Honda. I can tell you that. And he has not improved, I think, no. 16.3 should have been in there for me as well. But, oh well. Okay. I mean, main part is surviving, as always. So, we're getting the James R short. Putting 2 more clicks in there. And I think 51 liters is already adjusted to Spa. Let's get my phone and quickly calculate that to make sure it's right. I don't know my exact fuel consumption right now, sadly, but I think 4.1 should be close enough. It's a 25-minute race, yep. Oh, no, not 25 hours. 25 minutes. Short formation lap, yep. No mandatory pit stops. Let's say we'll be doing 2 18s flat. And we're using 4. Okay, it's actually telling me I need 46 liters. But, like I said, I'm not 100% sure about the fuel consumption, so let's go with this. Okay. Still a few minutes to go. TC2, that's good. Maybe I'll do one of these. Just a tiny bit down for safety. Because seemed very, very angry on the rear. But it's not been that long since I last trimmed the Honda around here, and it felt amazing. And then, interestingly, it felt amazing in practice. And when I got back to drive it again in the race, after practice, it felt like shit. And I'm not sure...
30 seconds.
I think it felt more like shit than it does now, because it doesn't really feel like shit, it just feels a bit more on edge. But it's definitely not super amazing. But we'll see. Let's just survive. Actually, I haven't raced at all in 1.5 weeks. Not since the SOP championship finale in the Honda at Mount Panorama.
Double fire.
But alright, no one cares about that. Let's do this. I think the classic Honda start is tricky around here, because it's downhill. We'll see.
Green light, go, go,
Oh, that was alright.
car on the left.
Ah. I'm still there.
Yellow flag is sector 1. Clear on the left.
Okay. You like to live dangerously, I can see that. But he was fair about it. That was a terrible entry, I don't know why. Wow, okay, yeah, I gotta get used to this thing first. Like I said, very little practice. Especially now in traffic. Let's keep TC2 for the bus stop for now, just for safety. Because I really don't trust that thing now. Okay, that was a tiny bit deep. Yeah, no exit space really. I think we need TC1. Just for the acceleration. Look at that Honda go, fucking hell. But the Ferrari is a beast on the straight here. That's not to be underestimated. think someone behind me died, like close behind me. Yeah, you can see the rear is not planted at all. It's weird. Oh yeah, it's the Ferrari behind me. He died. Because I'm pretty sure that was a Ferrari and not an Audi.
Yellow flag is set to 1.
Cap TC2. Still not a terrible exit. Holy shit. Yeah, they are doing 16s. I've done 16s here before. And that was the fastest lap time in Split 1. Now we got people faster in Split 2. Sure, okay. Welcome to LFM. It really develops. So I think right now with this, I'm not really on it 100%. Would have a hard time catching these two, even if I was fully pushing. So I'm just gonna be staying safe and focusing on increasing my safety rating. Tiny little slide on the entry there. It's confusing. Pressures seem fine. I already definitely have to brake, well not already also, definitely have to brake earlier for pit path. Not sure what has changed, but it's definitely made the rear a little bit looser. Still some grip from it. But it doesn't feel bad otherwise. Not a great line through there.
There's a guy with the car in front in sector 3. Well done, mate. Personal best. Car on the right.
Cassette Rush, what happened to him? God, okay, that's gotta hurt. But he's not last, not by a while. Interesting, so bunch of people must have had damage early on at the pit. But yeah, if you pit in a 25-minute at Spa, usually you've just lost the race. Not coming back from that. Okay. think I'm kind of keeping pace with the Honda now. That was a nice exit. And we're getting close to the 16. But I'm not going to be pushing to try to get that 16 going. That still wasn't really an amazing bus stop, because as you can see, the Honda still gained 2/10 on me in the bus stop and La Source. I don't think I had a bad La Source. Not a perfect one, not a bad one. Especially in, what's this called? I don't know. Lacombe. I think that's what it's called. Especially there you can feel the rear losing grip. That was definitely too early on the gas. And if I would have pulled through with that, not only was there a chance I would have gone off track, but there also was a chance that I would have spun. Because if you go even a tiny bit wide on the exit there, the Honda just fucking loops around. It doesn't really loop around, but it starts drifting into the wall on the right side, which is even worse than looping around. Oh, that might have been off track, yep. Let's be careful with that. Like I said, probably no chance for me to be catching the Honda, because that thing is flying. So is the Ferrari. Miles Morales here is seems spooky. Okay, he's nice though.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
I got spooked into upshifting into 6th there, which is definitely way too early, and you can see I think lose a 10th or something at the end of that straight there. Okay, let's concentrate again.
Exit down with the car in front in sector 3.
Okay. It feels, it also, like I said, it feels like the rear has less grip. But on the other hand, I definitely couldn't have done that in the old, well not the old Honda. I definitely couldn't have taken that line through Eau Rouge that well before. Because I definitely missed the first apex by a good bit. But then still easily made the second apex. Back in the day you had to be absolutely perfect to go through Eau Rouge flats and not spin. That was far from perfect.
We're halfway through the kick machine.
I think I can go a tiny bit early on the gas here. Definitely doesn't feel like we're already halfway through. I still feel like I'm learning the car. But you can also already feel the tires losing a tiny bit of grip. Right tires, especially right rear, is a tiny bit too high on the pressure. Yeah, before the next major Spa race I have in the Honda, if I have a next major Spa race in the Honda, I don't know. I'll definitely have to. Whoa, okay, that was a bit fast into the first corner. Definitely gonna have to revisit the setup and see if I can do something about that. 16.7 from both of these guys. That is wild. Like I said, back in the day I did a 16.8. And that was the fastest lap of the race in Split 1. And we're in Split 2. And I think the track was also a tiny bit colder than this one. I think around like 24 degrees. 25. Yeah, and I think we were at 21 or something back then. So I'm not far off my old pace at all. Definitely not quite as consistent as I was back then. But I think with a bit more practice in this car, that's gonna come back easily. Okay, I love missing the no-name apex apparently. That was terrible. That was also not great. Yeah, feeling the tires. I mean, I'm also being dumb right now. But the tires are definitely contributing a tiny bit to the loss of pace. So, whatever's changed, I need to adapt with it, with the setup. Because I can't be having that in a proper race. In an LFM Split 2 race, sure. I mean, I've said it many times before, I'm basically doing LFM for practice. And so I have something to stream in between my league races. That was terrible, 17.7. Can definitely do better than that even now on older tires. So yeah, I did kind of fuck up my quali. I'm pretty sure even if I had done a perfect quali lap, chances against these two guys that you can see way in the distance would not have been great. Alright, I'm out now for my LFM race. Enjoy! Have a good one, Chief. I'm probably still going to be streaming when you're done, so if you want to be back after that, I'm really looking forward to seeing you again. Because I have something planned. I'm going to be doing one more LFM race after this one. That was a terrible entry into Puan. I'm going to be doing one more LFM race after this one, and then I have something fun planned. You could also say something dumb, but you would be saying that, not me. Yeah, I don't feel like I'm driving particularly much worse than I was on my fastest lap. Yeah, probably a tiny bit. But tires definitely losing pace really quickly here. Which is not good. It's not the way it should be. Surprise. Fucking almost spinning in the bus stop again. Interesting, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna say it one more time, and then I'm gonna leave you guys alone with it. I'm definitely gonna have to work on this setup if I do another proper race. On this car. On this track. Fuck. Let me know your SR gain. I will. So far, I'm pretty sure I still only have one off track. Okay, can still do decent runs. Okay, 3 more laps after this, probably. Nah. Okay, the guys are not that far ahead, so 2 more. Pretty sure it's gonna be 2 more. You know what? No, it might be 3 more. Because they are well under 220. I always calculate Spa laps with, well, just a tiny bit under 220. Roughly 220. But no. And no, nowhere close to 220. We're closer to 250. At least I would be if I didn't suck so bad. That was a terrible exit from that 180-degree corner, and it totally fucked up my entry into no lane. Amazing. Oh! Second off track. Let's see what the guys in front are still doing in terms of pace. Pretty sure we're getting another lap after this. So after the next one, I mean. Okay, probably still doing 216s. Meanwhile, I'm half a second, more than half a second off. With a perfect lap, I'd probably be just about half a second off. The mic moving away from me. Or am I imagining that? There we go. Should be fine. Really?
He's a slow
Again?
car.
Too slow. We lost someone. That totally fucked me up for Stavolo. We lost the Ferrari, the leading Ferrari. What happens? I didn't even... I saw the fucking... Or I heard the fucking slow car ahead, but I didn't see any car. And then as soon as I looked, that was P2. And the Ferrari was gone. Okay, are we getting another lap? Yeah, surely.
There's a final lap.
What the hell happened there? I need to be turning in earlier. The car is really understeer now. Okay, let's stay on track for this final lap and knock another off track. I wonder if the Ferrari lost connection or lost fuel or something like that probably. Or ran out of fuel. Okay, I could definitely be running less fuel. Probably 2-3 liters
Sector 3.
for the next one.
Yellow flag. Watch out in front.
Are people waiting? They sure are. Fucking hell.
Leader has finished right.
There we go, actually a decent-ish lap time at the end.
Bring it back to the pit safely.
Okay, congrats, fellow Honda. Significant, well not significantly, but definitely consistently faster than me today. So, it was solid work from him. Alright work from me, I guess. Definitely gotta work on the setup. It's this... yeah... Especially the tire degradation is not where it should be. Alright. Let's wait until this is over, huh? Ah, Assetto did get last, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people dropped out of the race. So, P2, split 2. Let's see if that raises my elo enough to be in split 1 for the next one. Let's not forget to sign up for that. Let's reload this one. Come on. Oh, wait. It's LFM again. LFM is being a shit again. Okay, there we go. 2015. Sign up in the Honda. Come on. And we're in. Currently still split 1. I don't think we have... No, we don't have the results from this one yet. I mean, we still have people on track as well. Number 1. It's pretty far back. Interesting. I think like this definitely gonna be an elo loss for him. Oh, what is this? Ah. Okay, Reiter wants to do a tiny meeting tomorrow. That is something you know now, and that is something I fortunately know now. Let's reload this again. See if our results are in. I wanna see my elo and my safety rating mostly. Come on. Nothing. What if I click on this and see if anything changed? Okay, server is down. Maybe now it's gonna be. Oh yeah. Split 2. Simon Bauer. Okay, I'm not seeing anything. LFM, why you gotta be so complicated? Still nothing. What if I go on my accounts? Oh, my safety rating's changed. Past races? No, it's not in the past races yet. It's weird, man. I mean, alright. We'll do something else in the meantime. Let me change my source from game capture to display capture. Observe! And now the one viewer we have is gonna know exactly what we're gonna be doing after the second race. We're gonna be rating fucking tracks. I've been meaning to do this for a while now, but I didn't really know when. Why the hell is it telling me the DAX? It's never done that before. Get away. Now anyway, we're gonna be rating tracks. As you can see, that's gonna be what we're gonna be doing. I haven't raced the 3 newest tracks yet, so we're gonna be turning a handful of laps on those just to get used to it, or just to get a tiny feel for the track. And then I think that's gonna be a pretty good way to end this stream. Let's do 1 and a 2 and go back on board. And I guess we can have a tiny look at the replay from that race, even though there's not going to be a lot going on. In the meantime, let me do some advertising. 1, and why the hell not? Let's do it on here as well. Okay, I'm definitely noticing the mic gets a tiny bit in the way of typing, if it is there. I mean, I can just move you out of the way, but that's not the point of this thing. Alright, let's have another look at the start. That was definitely by far the most exciting part of the race. Pretty good start from me. Could have been better. Still not bad. Then I already lifted a tiny bit here. And then the Ferrari suddenly just turned into a very slow boy on the straight. And I had to lift a lot, and the Honda just didn't really breeze past, but it could definitely keep up. And then, actually interesting that the Ferrari moved over. But yeah, I just didn't really have the grip to properly hold against the Honda there. I didn't risk a lot, but I think if I had risked a lot, it could have easily ended in pain. But yeah, very, very little grip right at the start from this thing. Definitely looks like the other Honda has more grip. Not sure why that is, but that's something to be improved in the future. Hopefully. Okay. I got another 5 minutes until the next one starts. What should we do in the meantime? I think I'm just gonna leave you on here. Is there a way to look into Christoph's race? Probably not. I mean, there we go. Pro Series is live, but it's probably not going to be in Split 1. Let's look for a German flag. There's a lot of German flags, but no Split 1. Then gotta be Split 2 then, right? No? Question mark? That's Christian. Where the hell is he? Christoph Holzer, there he is. Oh yeah, okay. So even Split 3 goes up to 1848 elo. Damn, alright. So yeah, gonna be in Split 3. No streaming from him. No streaming from the official lads. So, I mean, we can... I can quickly check one of the other guys. Let's check Jens Nielsen. If the race is already going. Qualifying, okay. Am I seeing Christoph Holzer there? Not currently. Oh no, I am P14. Good stuff. Still got a few minutes to go in quali though. So there we go. Thank you Jens Nielsen for the for the info. Shout out. Literally one word, Jens Nielsen with a double S. There we go. Right, another few minutes to go. Always the annoying part. Being stuck between these LFM races and not knowing what to do. And if nothing interesting... Oh! Something interesting did happen in the race. Yeah, he just disconnected. Holy shit, that is painful. That is the most painful way to go. And he just takes off into the karting track. God damn. I feel for him there. P1, not very secure. He still has the Honda 710s behind him, but I think he had a very, very good chance of holding that P1 till the end. If he hadn't fucking disconnected, that is fucked. Also 16.6 fastest lap from him, 16.7 from the Honda, 17.0 from me. So both of them faster than my fastest ever race lap at Spa, which was a 16.8. Wild. Wild, I tell ya. Right. And then Mr. Honda Man. Let's have a look at the friends that were waiting. Yeah. Who are they? Let's see. It's... Huh? Oh, that's Pain for Cassette Rush. Did he pitted and then he had Pain again? Ah! Oh, look at that. Are they... Did they run out of fuel? No, they definitely didn't. But the question is, do they know each other? Nice one. Do they know each other? Because Mr. McLaren is definitely... I mean, it's for a position. BMW could have just driven past him. But either he's... they know each other and they basically made a deal, hey, you know what, let's just wait before the finish line and you don't overtake me. Or he's just being a really, really sportsmanship man guy. Honestly, if I was racing someone and they slowed down before the finish line to wait out the final lap, I definitely would have overtaken him. But I think there's also a pretty good chance that he was... Yeah, well... Yeah, look... Oh god, look at how long he's been waiting. Yeah, he's... I mean, he's right here now, and he's thinking, I have no chance of getting anyone else. Let's just wait before the finish line. And drive one less lap. But then, as soon as you see the McLaren for position standing there, you've hit it. Oh well. Definitely interesting stuff. Alright, let's get ready for the second race. I think the server is going up any second. Let us copy... okay. There we go. Copy the number. Put in the number. Still split 1, it seems. Getting close to full though. The splits. Oh, I can also tell you. Safety rating 30. Well, 0.3. I got 3 incident points, which is the one the 3 off tracks. And ELO of 89. Not bad. I'll take it. I'll take it for sure. Now, fingers crossed the second one is gonna be as smooth. Although maybe you guys don't have your fingers crossed for that, because it was probably a bit boring, to be honest. I really hope, by the way, we can gather a few more viewers before we start split 1. Yeah, I am in split 1. Nice. We can gather a few more viewers for the track tier list part, because I don't want to be doing that by myself. I want some input from the experts.
Give it all you can.
Okay, let's see if we know anyone. Verstappen for sure. Deploy, that's the one. Oh, that's one. We know. No idea about. Oh, Nowicki was in the last one. Kjellgren. Does he sound familiar? Oh, Bastian Lindner is definitely familiar. One number in front of me. So I'm number 26, he's number 25. Question is gonna be, am I the last, the lowest number on the grid? Oh, I bumped my mic, I'm sorry about that. Moses is in here, interesting. Pereira is a name I know, but it's not the one I know. I think the one I know is Rafael Pereira. I think. I'm not sure. So yeah, handful of people. Oh, Yannick Ruoff, that's the one we know. Hutchinson, no idea. Tvorzidlo, I'm gonna say. Okay. A lot of Audis in here, especially at the bottom of the joining order. Okay. 18 degrees. Holy shit. Okay. Well. Let's try this. Let's close down the front brake ducts by 1 click. Yeah, let's take 3 more liters. So we... Oh. Let's do 1 more. So we hopefully can do... enough laps for the quali. And hopefully we can improve our quali pace from last time. I mean, it shouldn't be too hard, because the last quali pace was kind of dreadful. And then I fucked it up towards the end.
Green light, go, go, go.
Okay. P3 on track. It's not a bad position to be in. Let's have a look at track conditions. 18 degrees, yep, optimum. Okay. Everything you need. Get that blue flag away, man. No one is on a valid lap. Okay. Stop being dumb. Come on. Calado. Holy shit. Yeah, very, very close together this field. It's gonna be a lot of stacking in the final sector. And I'm gonna be getting off the gas early to make sure no one gets any ideas of getting past me. Which is definitely what people do sometimes. And I don't appreciate that. I'm not sure whether the Ferrari in front of me is really that slow, or if he's just taking it super easy on the warm-up lap now. We'll see. Oh, come on. He's in a huge gap. To be fair, there's gonna be a lot of people who are gonna be faster than me in split 1. For sure. Yeah. I have stepped on the brakes a little too hard, coming down the back straight. Whoa! The fuck was that? It just didn't turn in at all. And I'm pretty sure that was easily visible. Okay. Well, next one. Still sliding. That's the way we know it. And don't love it. Okay. Seems the Ferrari and I are doing relatively similar pace. Same with Novicki behind. But yeah, I mean, cooler track. Car is definitely a bit understeer here. It's no huge surprise. Okay. And I gotta use the signs as braking markers. Because the line on the road that I usually like to use is in the shade. Okay, that was actually a 16, even though it was a, I don't know, pretty dreadful lap, and I wasn't really trying. Okay, let's turn in earlier this time. That was too early. Oh. Couldn't avoid it a tiny bit longer, could he? Okay, I mean, I'm alive. It's fucking hell. Very understeer.
Yellow flag accepted.
Okay. Let's be careful with braking points. I was overly careful. And my car fucked me again. So few too, but there's a lot more in there. Most of it is in the bus stop. Okay, let's survive Eau Rouge this time without being dumb. Wow, it's still. I had to actually counter steer a tiny bit to not go into the curb this time. Feels weird, but all right. Come on. Just drifting that fucking wide. What's the point? What's the reason, my boy? And then, for some reason, whenever I have a decent lap, I fuck up, what's it called? Stabilo. But I can gain that time in the bus stop. Still doesn't feel great. But it is provisional P1. Still feels like the car just wants to oversteer. Bus stop. That was a tiny bit of a slide. I don't know why. Not a great no-name. These guys in front are kind of putting me off. My neighbor just dropped something, I think, and my whole floor vibrated. Yeah. Got in the dirty air at the end there. Fuckhead. Yilmaz. I mean, he's P26. What the fuck's the point? What the fuck is the point, Mr. Yilmaz? Yeah, what's the... I mean, now it's too late anyway. Now it's too fucking late. There was no need to wait until I was in the fucking dirty air for half a sector to let me through. Okay. I mean, the time is a lot better than last time, but it's not nearly as good as it could have been. But still. I mean, even last time I wouldn't have been P1 with this lap time. But there's still people out on track, and there's still a pretty good chance that people are gonna be cruising past me. Only other Honda is Posabon though, I think. Yeah. Whew. Okay. No more laps being started now. Let's see what kind of laps are being finished. 23 is coming across the line now. It's at... Oh! He outbraked himself. Well, rip. Okay, he's on a lap. And he's getting close to the end. And he's invalidated it. Yep. I think I'm relatively safe. I mean, Hutchinson has the number 1, so... I mean, there's a chance that he just didn't get a lap together last time, and that this is his first proper lap. We'll see. BMW is good here, but it's not a beast, I think. Scratch that. Yeah. Fuck him. Fuck you! Stop wiggling like that. Only reason you're in front is because I got fucking held up. Okay, and that's... Oh... Are they still valid? They are! Okay, so this is gonna be... Yeah, I mean, he's no longer valid. So he's... Okay, he's number 2. So he might be putting in something impressive then as well. We'll see. Oh, that was very late. And that is ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous, watching the Audi come through the bus stop. But apparently it wasn't fast enough everywhere else. It was ridiculous seeing his braking point for the bus stop though. And then the exit out of the bus stop was wild as well. Okay, yeah, let's do the V James are short, as always. Boom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not sure if that's actually on 5, but should make a huge difference. Okay, I'm gonna go down 2 liters. That's definitely gonna be alright. Let's do that toe thing from last time. Because yeah, I don't want I don't want the exact same setup I had last time. But the thing is, the problems I had last time with the rear sliding and the tires dying a lot was definitely not caused by this. If anything, this is making it a tiny bit better. So we'll see. We shall see indeed. Let's enjoy the silence for a second. Let's take a quick drink. And then soon we'll see if we die.
30 seconds.
Please, let me have a good race again. A clean race. No one trying to kill me. Me not trying to kill myself. Everything you need. Let's do it. Let's just do normal lights. Looks prettier on the replay. Alright. Bring it on, BMW. Hutchinson.
Double fire.
Oh, I forgot something. I should have closed down my front brake ducts. Damn it. It's not a huge deal. I mean, for some reason they are heating up a lot faster than the rears anyway. What a start.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Alright.
Car on the left.
Now comes BMW madness on the straight. Fucking hell. Look at this. What the hell?
Clear on the left.
That's ridiculous. And he just closes the door as if I'm not even there. Oh, he's an M6. I didn't even notice. No. That's terrible. The fact that he has that much pace in the M6 is terrible. Because he's probably gonna be a good bit slower in the corners, of course. But as you can see, he just fucking pissed off on the straights. Oh no. That's horrible. So there's absolutely no way I'm gonna be catching him on the straights anywhere. No matter when or where. So he has to be making a mistake for me to get past him. Wild, wild man, this guy. Okay, now I'm very close to him and I'm in a slipstream. Let's see how this goes. He's just gonna fuck off, is he? Look at him. Unbelievable. I'm so fast I have to lift for Blanchiment. That is unbelievable. Not only the fact that the M6 is so fast on the straights, but also that he gets that kind of pace out of the M6. Okay, dirty air or rouge time. Let's do it. Actually, not that much dirty air, because he just fucks off even before we're even through Eau Rouge. I have no words. That is so dumb. But honestly, props to him for being able to pilot this thing. Because the fact that it's so fast in the straights also means that it's terrible in the corners. And yeah, you can see how much he's maximizing the space on the track in a way that I'm definitely not right now, because I'm still getting used to this thing again. But it's gonna be painful, because every time we get to the second sector, he's gonna be slow as fuck. And he's gonna be holding me up and keeping me in his dirty air and killing my tires and making me slide and stuff. Whoa. Kinda like that, but that was very unexpected. So this is not a nice position to be in. Like I said, no chance of getting him on the straights. But then in the corners I'm gonna be catching up to him. And then between the corners he fucks off. It's like he's driving a GT2 car or something. Or just a completely different class. Because the GT2 car is significantly slower than a GT3 car. It's not a huge difficulty for a GT3 car to be overtaking a GT2 car, but this is different. I mean, I'm hoping for two things. Either he makes a mistake or he's actually really fast. But if he keeps going like this... Let's concentrate on the douche for a second. If he keeps going like this, he's maybe gonna back me into Kjellgren behind me. I mean, you saw how relatively slow that last lap was. Oh, so many people crashing or spinning behind me. I wish they did that in front of me more often. Okay, that was actually a pretty good start to the second sector from him. I mean, it was also just not a good start to the second sector for me, but still. I've never heard of the strategy of picking an M6 at Monza. I mean, the M6 is one of those meme cars. Doesn't really make sense to pick it. Did I say Monza, Spa? Doesn't really make sense to pick it anywhere else than Monza, probably, because it's just fast and doesn't turn. I'm sure Spa has a lot of long straights, but Spa also has some very downforce-oriented corners. Okay, that was a much better lap for me. 16.8? Yep. Fastest lap of race. That's not gonna help me much. Criminal. Absolutely criminal to be picking a fucking F6 at Spa. And know you're just gonna fuck off on the straights and then leave everyone in, well, and then be left in the dust in the corners. If I was in front of him, I could probably gain enough of a gap in Sector 2 to just get away from him and not be, you know, in much of a risk on the straights anymore. But he got past me right at the start by just being a rocket ship, and then that's the end of the story pretty much. He has to make a mistake for me to get through. Seems very, very, especially poor in No Name. I mean, poor one as well, kinda. I mean, being this close usually is a very good position to be in the Honda, but not this time. Oh, fuck you, limiter bug. My old nemesis. Crawling out of the woodworks once again. This is so fucked. But I can't be mad at him because he's holding his own. I mean, look at that. He totally fucked up turn 1 and now he's gonna be gone by the time we get to Eau Rouge. Okay, especially entering Lacombe. It's very tricky on in the dirty air, apparently. Even though I braked really early then. But early braking isn't really the magic word. It's just being super smooth and careful on turning, probably. Yeah. It's painful. but also funny, so no hard feelings. But we are kind of keeping Kjellgren at bay so far. I hope we can actually keep that up. Front tires are getting pretty cold. Because, yeah, I mean, I should have closed down my front brake duct. I mean, they're not really getting cold, they're just losing too much pressure. Which, one of the reasons is gonna be the brake ducts, other reasons probably gonna be him. This gremlin in front of me. Looks like he's gift wrapped and there's little red ribbons coming out the back. And the headlights and whatever that red stuff is below them. Yep, definitely felt the rear sliding on the entry there. That is horrid. Oh man. I'm gonna have to see if he streams after this one. Hutchinson. To be honest, I don't really recognize the name. But he is a very good driver. Oh, that's a warning. For being able to... Well, I mean, he's keeping me behind. Mostly because he just has the straight line advantage. But I mean, okay, look at this. Now I can't even do anything. Let's not fight. Please just be fast. You can have the win, man, as long as you don't back me up into Kjellgren. He kinda deserves the win for even being able to drive this fucking thing. I mean, if he was a normal car, he would smoke me, surely. I'm pretty sure I have better brakes than him, but there's just no way I can get close enough to try to send it. Because all the hard braking zones are preceded by a long straight, which usually is something good for the chasing car, because you can suck yourself up to the guy in front with the slipstream. But even with me in the slipstream, he has the faster car on the straight. And that was very sketchy through Rouge there, by the way. Front tires are definitely losing pressure. The car is losing grip in its dirty air. Now, is that an off track? Yep. Man, I don't need those. Leave those at home. I'm definitely getting slower in the second sector, because he's infected me with fucking low pressures on the front tires. All around the pressures are a bit low, actually. Even though I went up quite a bit. But unless we start holding each other up immensely, I think I can keep Kjellgren behind, or in this 2-second gap. This is ridiculous. Let's get this a tiny bit closer again, come on. I'm genuinely having fun though. Not really because it's super fun to be catching up to him in the corners and then being left in the dust in the straights, but just because it's such a ridiculous situation. Because he's essentially in a completely different class, but it's roughly as fast as my class. Maybe a tiny bit slower overall. Fuck. I shall be more careful in the future in Eau Rouge. Good fucking lord, that was something. Why do I have my tire pressures have to be so low? Okay, just let me finish in front of Kjelgren in one piece without any more track cuts, please. Yeah, definitely losing grip. That, holy shit, that was definitely the scariest thing I've ever done in Eau Rouge. I've done some scary things there. %100% sure I was gonna die there. But alright, concentration now. I think this time we could actually get one fewer lap. Holy shit, okay. The car is just sliding. I'm not even trying anything weird. The car is just sliding in Eau Rouge. That is horrid. Okay, I gotta lift a lot then. It's like I have rear damage or something. And every slide that takes me past the track limits, it reduces my safety rating, which I don't want. It really does feel like I'm driving with damage right now. Evil. And I'm not sure why. Can the tires be that terrible? God damn, okay. I mean, if I concentrate, I can probably still keep Kjelgren where he should be. But goddamn, Eau Rouge is not a fun place right now. Yeah, I think it's a pretty good chance we're gonna be getting 3 more laps though. try this again. Tiny bit of lift for safety. That was definitely a significant lift, but had to. Now let's get some time going in this sector. Yeah, if I concentrate, if I do well, I can keep him where he is. It's not easy though, I'll tell you. Now on 5 off tracks, which is not where I want to be. But you can see how understeer it's getting, especially in Stavelo. Okay, gap still somewhat consistent. God, it feels so horrid. But I actually only lifted a tiny bit there. Oh, Kjellgren either fucked up his lassos or he had to lift a lot. That is actually good, because then I can be really safe in the final lap, because there's surely gonna be another lap after this. Okay, not a bad lap. It's not over, but still. The hard part is over. So one more. Okay, let's survive one more. Is that actually the line you're supposed to take through La Source in the M6? Aside from the fact that you're not supposed to take the M6 anywhere. Okay. Tiny lift at the start, that felt stable. You can still feel the rear getting loose, but now it's all under control. You know what? I'm not actually 100% sure if we should do the little tier list thing after this, because there is literally no one here. The stream is very empty right now, which is sad and also kind of confusing, because usually these LFM races do well. No idea what's going on. That's all. Yeah, very much feels like a drift car. It was drifty before it started getting weird, but it's getting very much weirder now. But I think we got it. P2 then, split 1. Lost to an F6. Okay, that was such a wild race. With the M6 being an M6 in front of me and with my car just losing grip. Turning into a drift car in Eau Rouge. But there we go.
Great job on P2.
Got it.
Bring it back to the win.
Solid work from Hutchinson. Okay, I shouldn't be in the middle. Should be on the right for the podium, but oh well. Wild. Ridiculous, you might even say, from Hutchinson. Let's get these out of the way. Let's get this down. Alright. 2.3 seconds behind Hutchinson, and another 2.3 seconds is Kjellgren. And then comes Seminara. Interesting. I definitely wasn't fast at all, especially in the second half of the race. But still, P2 in top split is somewhat unusual. Oh, it's a nightmare at the start. Yeah, I think they already had a pretty big gap to us at the start, so something almost happened. So Kagan apologizes to... Ah! How... BMW things. Do they make contact? Yeah, they do. But the BMW not only survives the contact, it also survives going over the grass on the... That is... Why is this car so motherfucking broken? It's ridiculous. Any normal car would have been dead. And then this is... I mean, I wonder what it looked like from his perspective. So... He probably did get a pretty good start. It's just the BMW being a BMW. And then, here he comes. He didn't even really get any slipstream. He was on the slipstreams for such a short time that it didn't really even benefit him. But he was basically entirely ahead by the time we got to turn 1. And then he was definitely being a risky boy in turn 1 by pretending I wasn't even there. Because I still had my nose in there a tiny bit. But worked out well. But no fucking words. Bring in a knife to a gunfight, essentially. Bring in an M6 to a GT3 race. Wild. And it worked out. It really do be working out for him. Right, let's refresh the LFM site. Stream's still empty. Sad days, but what can you do? There's something interesting going on today. You can see a few streamers streaming the stream. Is that the one? No, it's still... No, that is the one. I think. No, it's not. That's the last one. Yeah. Okay. Let's refresh another time then. And then get into the tier list making thing, I guess. Let's move the mic a bit closer. There we go, because now it's not going to be getting in my way. I mean, it didn't really get in my way earlier, but even less so now, and that's all I can ask for. Has my... no. Okay, my safety rating has improved. I'm not seeing my ELO improving yet. And it should be improving by quite a bit. Because P2 in Split 1, even though if this is the split wasn't, or the field wasn't super competitive... oh no, I think it has improved, yeah. So I'm not seeing the exact change yet, but I'm at 1983 ELO. And at 5.11 safety rating. So safety rating went up probably another 0.25 or something. 0.2, whatever. And then ELO went up by roughly 100. I think a tiny bit over 100 actually. Let's refresh once again to see if we can... yep, there we go. The exact numbers are here. ELO 97, so not exactly 100. And 0.25 on the safety rating. I am happy with that. I'm definitely happy with that. Alright. Let's. I think we're gonna be keeping the... should we keep... no. Let's turn the ACC menu music off. And then let us search for a royalty-free smooth jazz. No copyright. Coffee house jazz. Calm jazz music, relaxing music, meditation. And I can tell you for sure, by looking at some of these tracks, I will definitely need some meditation and some relaxing music. I think you should be able to hear it. Yeah, for sure. Okay. Just pray that this guy doesn't get muted. But it's saying no copyrights. All songs licensed under Creative Commons can be used in public settings without a license. Okay. I mean, I'll take that. I'll take that as confirmation. Okay. Let me quickly turn the stream off on to see if it's fine. Wait. Boom. Wait. Boom. No, it's way too quiet. Way too quiet. Okay. I mean, I hope that's alright. The thing is, no one's here, so no one can tell me if it's too loud. But we're definitely gonna be doing the tier list now. Not gonna be... dude. Not gonna be letting an empty... whatever hold up my tier listing stuff. Okay. Let us... where does Spa belong? Spa belongs here, yeah, okay. Let's go to presentation mode. There we go, perfect. Beautiful. It's getting a bit loud for me, to be honest. I'm turning it down a tiny bit. It's supposed to be background music, come on. Okay. Now, let's turn off game capture and on display capture. And let's make it beautiful. Oh no. Oh no. Can I not? I mean, I can do this, but... well, I guess you're gonna have my taskbar in there. 20 degrees outside, stark bewölkt, as you can see. Spa is not supposed to be down there. And what the hell is... oh no, something has happened. These things are not supposed to be... do we go back to normal view? I think we should, yeah. Okay. Can we turn this ad off? Probably not, but I am in front of the ad as well. And the ad has a nice message either way, so you go down here. Now, let's do this again. Is the fucking jazz too loud again? It seems loud. Let's keep it as it is. Whatever. if someone's... Well, if someone's gonna complain, no one's here. Alright. So once again... I think I'm probably gonna upload this to YouTube separately, so for those guys, however you stumble across my channel, enjoy this little bit of stupidity of ranking. Wait, where's Barcelona? Why is it here? It's supposed to be... Why is it backwards? Why is it... Oh man, I've sorted it alphabetically, really, you know, working for it, and now it's all jumbled again. So I guess we're gonna be doing it this way then, whatever. Okay, but for the latecomers to the party, unfortunately, you're not gonna be... I'm gonna have to turn this fucking music down a tiny bit again. Let's just do this. Let's turn all of it down. Boom. There we go. For the latecomers, we're gonna be doing a tier list of all the ACC tracks. And with all of them, except the newest 3, and I guess except Snetterton, I have a lot of experience, actually. I have a tiny bit of experience at Snetterton, but I haven't really driven much there, which is for good reason. But, right, so all of the normal tracks that are not from the American DLC, I'm gonna be ranking just from the top of my head, because I've spent enough time there. And then, for these 3 special boys, I'm gonna need to be turning a few laps in ACC just to get used to it. Or just to get a feel for it, because I've done like 3 laps at Kota in the M2, and I've done like 2 laps at Indy in the M2, and then I've done no laps at Watkins Glen, but I've commentated on a race at Watkins Glen. So definitely not enough to be, you know, comfortable with rating them. But let's get the talk out of the way. Let's start with Zolder. And Zolder is actually one that I haven't driven in a long time. But I like Zolder. It's sort of a rare gem. It's sort of a... finding an onion ring in your fries. I'm usually not a huge fan of onion rings. That's why I never get them. But finding an onion ring in the fries is a nice little mix-up, you know? In a whole pile of regular ass fries. And that's what Zolder feels like. It's a very different track from most other tracks. So it has a lot of overtaking opportunities. It's actually kind of fun to hot lap. It has a very different feel. I like small-ish tracks in general. So saying all of those things, you would think I'd have to put it in A or S, but I hate the chicanes, especially the first chicane. It's interesting. It's definitely an unusual chicane, but it's bad. It's really objectively just a terrible fucking chicane. And that's why... Can we turn this down a tiny bit more? Come on. Why did it start off so quiet and now it's getting louder? Come on. Down you go. Boom. Okay. Yeah, for that reason, when Zolder comes up in a league, in a race I have to race, I will be happy-ish, but I'm not like, fuck yeah, Zolder. So, B tier. And I think that's not a bad place to put it. I think a lot of people are just sort of indifferent about Zolder. I don't know anyone who really hates it, but I don't know anyone who loves it, I think. So B tier it's a bit above the middle, it's a bit above the average, and I think that's right where it belongs. Draco! You have ghost in your machine. What does that mean? Welcome aboard, but what the hell does that mean? Is it the smooth jazz that's sort of ghostly? I know it's a bit cringy, but whatever. Ghost in your machine. Please tell me what you mean. But until then, I'm gonna be going on with my beautiful baby boy, that is Mount Panorama. And yes, by the way, you're seeing it correctly, I'm doing a fucking tier list. I am doing the unspeakable. I'm trying to rank... No, me. Oh, you! You're the ghost in the machine. Alright, well, I guess welcome aboard. I'm happy to have someone here, because the stream is a bit quiet and a bit empty. And I'll gladly have someone who can comment on my terrible taste tracks on the side. So, Mount Panorama, boom. Easy. No question. Absolutely no question about it. Easily my fucking favorite track in ACC. I've said it on the OOR stream the other week. It's such a beautiful balance of 100% concentration over the hill, absolutely no time for you to relax or have a lapse in concentration. And then you have 2.5 long straights that are perfect for overtaking and perfect for just getting ready for the next mountain section again. And the mountain section is so extremely unique with the corners, the layout of the corners and the walls being close to you. There's nothing like it, and that's sad. On one hand it's sad, but on the other hand I think if there was something else like Bathurst, then it would lose a lot of its charm. And that charm easily fucking puts it at S tier. Now, next one. This is gonna be interesting. I'm shifting between these two. Not a fan. Not a fan of Zandvoort. And you can't overtake. The newer F1 version of Zandvoort that we don't have in ACC is a lot cooler. Skyline is shit, hate that track. Well, I'm happy to have you on board, because differing opinions are what makes this stuff interesting. But yeah, I mean, I'm well aware that Bathurst, Mount Panorama is a very polarizing track. I think there's no one who's gonna be putting it in B or D, C tier. Everyone's gonna be putting it either in S or A or D or F. Nothing in between. And that's cool. That's what you want on a track, I guess. It's a lot better than just mediocrity, and everyone's kind of like, yeah, C tier, I guess it's alright. But speaking of guess it's alright, Zandvoort isn't that alright. It has a nice flow when you're hot lapping it, but then it also has one of the absolute worst chicanes in ACC and in racing in general, which is this little... I hope you can see my mouse cursor, beeply boop back here. The 90 right and then 180 left. It's horrid. There's nothing... There's something worse than it, but it's not a lot. So... It's just not a track I like a lot. But it's kind of fun to hot lap on your own. But I'm gonna have to be putting it in D tier for now. No overtaking, kind of fun to hot lap, kind of fun, but then the chicane kills the flow. We'll put it in C tier for now, and let's see what else we put in C tier. And then if there's other stuff that I definitely like more in C tier, then it's going to move down. Even racing with the wheel now, I always fuck it up down Skyline. I mean, it's easy to do, and it also depends on your car. There's cars where you can absolutely fucking send it down Skyline in the BMW, for example. You don't even have to downshift. You basically just have to lift. Not sure if you even have to brake. I think it's just lifting and staying in 5th gear to go down Skyline. Honda is a bit more tricky, but Honda is alright actually there. Mercedes, if you have the wrong setup, just kills itself. One of the wheels lifts off when you go down Skyline, and it spins you around if you're not careful. So, yeah. Depends on the car a lot. I think for the most part I've driven cars around Bathurst that are pretty good Bathurst. I've never driven a car around there that's objectively bad. I've driven the BMW around there, the Merc, and of course a lot the Honda. All those cars are pretty good. But let's move on with another one where I'm sorta teetering on the edge between B and C, which is Brands Hatch. And the Audi, it's sketchy. I can imagine that. I can definitely imagine that. But Brands Hatch is similar-ish to Zandvoort, but I definitely appreciate it a lot more than Zandvoort. It's another one of those where you can't really overtake, but it's really fun to hot lap solo. It has a super good flow. It's a small track, but it's a high-speed track, especially the second, third sectors. It's not one of my absolute favorites. And also you can't overtake there. But it's in a similar vein to Zolder. It's also one of those small tracks that's not super common, but when it's in there, it's a nice little mix-up, because I always like those small tracks that are not really F1 grade tracks. So Similar to Zolder, moves into B tier for now. Now, Imola is one where I'm kind of split on. Imola, I know a lot of people absolutely love Imola and would easily put it in S tier. I've seen people, I think I've seen Jardier's track, not really tier list, but I think top 5 tracks is what he called it. And he put, no, he didn't put Imola in there, I think. But there were a lot of comments that were complaining about that. And he also put something in there that I very much disagree with, but we'll see about that. But Imola is a very, very appreciated track. Hungaroring F tier. Oh, we'll come to that. I'm not a fan of it. We'll see about F tier. But, oh, I've just noticed. Welcome aboard, Hendrik. Apparently now that I start the tier lists, when I started this, no one was here. Now we actually get people. That's actually cool. But thank you for your input and welcome aboard. So, Imola. It's a pretty unique track. Has a lot of tight radius corners, but it's also a pretty fast track. I love Acqua Minerale. I hate the chicane on top of the hill. Variante Alta. Absolutely terrible. Horrid chicane. But I appreciate that it's a really historic and really unique track. But I'm not sure if I can justify putting it in A tier, because there's a lot of other tracks that I would put in A tier that I like more than Imola. So, like these two friends, it goes into B tier for now, which, let's hope it's not gonna become a super cluttered B tier. But yeah, definitely a good track. No hate against it, but it's definitely not up there with my favorites. Speaking of favorites, this one. Donington Park. Very interesting track. Super, sorta Brands Hatchy in the first half of the track with these fast, no run-off corners. Super, you know, a lot of elevation changes that make it really interesting and really fun, like a roller coaster. I think people call it the roller coaster or something. And then the second half of the track is completely different with that chicane. That is a very unique and strange chicane, but one that I actually appreciate. It's not one of those where I'll say terrible fucking chicane, which I've said a lot about, these chicanes. And then you have the double hairpin where you can actually race side by side closely, which is pretty fun. So, I think this might be a bit controversial. I think Donington Park generally is a pretty well-liked circuit, but I don't think a lot of people will put it in S tier. I definitely know a guy whose favorite track is Donington Park, and I think it is also his home track, so fair enough. And it's definitely not my absolute favorite, but it's close. If Bathurst wasn't there, I definitely would have to think about which one my favorite track is, and this would be in the mix. But next up is Monza, which is also a unique track. We're getting a lot of unique tracks so far. But I guess we'll come to the less unique ones. But Monza is the bane of a lot of beginning ACC drivers if they go into Monza open lobbies and get taken out in turn 1. And yeah, in leagues you're not gonna get taken out in turn 1 as much, but turn 1 is still an absolute clusterfuck. Not long ago I did the 6 hours of Monza for the Coach Dave 1000, and on the restart we basically stopped for a second in turn 1. And I didn't really lose any positions for that, just everyone kind of hit the brakes and almost came to a standstill. But that's the way it is, and that's a very unique charm. There's few other tracks that have that sort of stuff, so that definitely makes it cool. And also, it's fun. It's such a good track for fighting. It's such a good track for overtakes. I've uploaded a video not long ago about my top overtakes, or just all of my overtakes from the restarts of that Coach Dave 1000 race, and it was like 11 overtakes in one stint against cars that are pretty fast, or drivers that are pretty fast. So super fun to battle there, super fun to overtake, and actually not super bad to hot lap solo either, even though it gets a bit boring. I know people are definitely going to be finding it boring because it has so many straights and so few corners, but I like that about it. And it's gonna be moving into A tier. Boom. There we go. And then I think we might be coming to one of the more polarizing ones. Maybe not as polarizing, because a lot of people seem to hate on Paul Ricard, but I'm not going to be putting it into D tier. No. Paul Ricard is actually one of my more liked tracks. And I can't entirely tell you why, but I also can't entirely tell you why people hate it so much. I think, actually, now that I think about it, it's gotta be because of the, turbo hybrid F1 era, where cars could not follow each other at all, and there was very little overtaking at Paul Ricard, because it's just so many long, flowing corners. But in ACC, in cars that actually are able to follow each other, it's a really, really good track for battling, because of the long straight, of course. And sure, you could say the long straight makes battling less fun, but you can have situations where you go past in the straights and then stay in front of the other guy until you come to the next straights and they go past you again. That's the sort of stuff you can experience here. And then coming to senior, I think it's what it's called, and then this super long right-hander. There's a lot of different lines through this right-hander than the next left-hander, and even the final corner has different lines. So there's a lot of opportunity for close fighting. Actually, no, we haven't skipped touring. There's a lot of opportunity for close fighting. And yeah, I guess it gives you eye cancer a tiny bit. Definitely an F, says Draco, which is fair enough. A lot of people are gonna say that. But I hope you forgive me, Draco. I really do. I hope I can make it up to you somehow. Paul Ricard goes in A tier. I like it. I like it a lot. It might be because it's one of the... No, it is the very first track I've actually raced on. It is the very, very first track I've ever had any online sim race on in the OOR rookie season. The very first one was at Paul Ricard. And I came 10th, which I was pretty proud about. And I think I came 9th, actually. Yeah, I think I set myself the goal of coming in the top 10, and I got 9th. Because I spent like a week every day, 2 or 3 hours practicing. And I think that was a pretty good start for my sim racing career. But yeah, maybe a bit of nostalgia. It gives you a bit of eye cancer, but I actually like the unique look. Can agree on every track, except Paul Ricard's, I guess. Yeah, nostalgia, I'm good at it. That's probably factoring into it. Good overtaking. Not super fun to hot lap, to be honest. But I like it. Oh, can't agree on every track. There we go. Yeah, okay, that's fair enough. And I mean, it would be a useless list if you could agree on every track. Maybe... No, I mean, I don't have the viewer base or the following for that, but maybe one day, if I ever get close enough to having a representative target audience, then I might do like a poll system and then redo this and see how my audience compares to me. But there we go. There's one we can sort of agree on. Hungaroring. Sucks. Hungaroring just kinda sucks. It gives you the illusion of having a good flow in the first sector, and then in the second and third sector it gradually just breaks that down. It has this squiggly stuff in the second sector, which is sort of reminiscent of Maggots and Beckett's on Silverstone and the S's at Suzuka, but it's just a lot worse. It basically is the S's and Maggots and Beckett's without any flow. Yo, Christoph! Here he is. How did things go? Tell me. Things went really well for me. Third in the first race, second in the second race. Positive on both ELO and safety rating. Oh, LFM style? That does not sound good. I was looking into the qualifying for a second and I saw you in P15, which seemed pretty good with that level of drivers in there. But in the meantime, let's keep going. Let's keep going with the Hungaroring bashing. Few opportunities to overtake. Not fun to... What is this? I mean, it's... I can imagine your face or your reaction to this, but yeah, it is me ranking all the tracks and telling you guys what horrid opinions I have of all the tracks in ACC. Cool, go on. Okay. Cool, go on is one of the better reactions I could have expected. So, I'll gladly go on. And you can gladly chime in. And I'm not gonna change my answers for you, but you can definitely tell me if I'm wrong or not. But there we go. Hungarian, no overtaking, no little flow. The first sector is actually kind of fun. Up to this right-hander. Not fun to hot lap. D tier. And I think D tier is generous. S is super cool and F is shit. That is correct. That is very much correct. And I think you'll definitely be wondering why this is out of place, but I think you'll also know that I actually like Bodycard. But as you can see, we have at least one example of every category now except F tier, and that's gonna change with this boy. And really think about it, that might be the only one in F tier. But I have such an unnatural hate for Barcelona. I can't really tell you. There's nothing that's super terrible about Barcelona, but there's also just literally not a single thing that is good. Is auto scale not even an F? Yeah, I know it's not a well-liked track, but I definitely know people. I don't know a lot of people that hate it this much. I should know you like it too. Yeah, I kind of remember you liking it too, but I don't really remember liking it. You liking it as much as A tier. Draco definitely doesn't. But yeah, so I guess apparently we can kind of agree on this stuff so far. But yeah, Barcelona. The start-finish straight is actually pretty long, but it doesn't feel as long as it is. First two corners are no fun. Long right-hander is no fun, just kills your tires. Tire life is terrible. You get like 1.5 seconds slower over the course of a stint, at least I do, because I'm terrible at tire saving. Fourth corner is alright. Turn 5 is dumb, turn 6 is dumb, turn 7 is dumb. Hairpin at turn 8 is alright, I guess, actually sort of an overtaking opportunity. Turn 9 is dumb, turn 10 is dumb, and turn 9 is already a corner. And then comes the... We've had so many dumb corners, and then comes the worst corner of them all, which is the chicane at the end. Which is so horrible. So... I don't want to dwell too much on this, because it's just making me angry. Barcelona, there we go, F tier. Bottom of F tier. An absolute... shit stain on the world of motor racing. I apologize to whoever designed Barcelona, because it is a popular track in real life racing. I mean, no one really likes it, I think, but F1 has been there for ages. They test there. GT3 stuff goes there. Motorbike races goes there. I mean, MotoGP. Everyone goes there. Everyone likes it. I mean, I'm not sure if anyone likes it, but it's an objectively alright track for commercial use. And I guess that's a good thing for if you want to make money, but not a good thing for soul. But speaking of soul, and speaking of not good things about making money, maybe they are just cheap. Oh, well, who knows? I'm not sure if Barcelona is that cheap. It's a pretty modern track. Who knows? But Kyalami. Definitely a fan favorite in GT3 racing, in ACC, and sort of an unknown gem in the real world. It's not a track a lot of people know about, a lot of modern racing fans, ever since F1 stopped racing there, which actually I think was a while ago. But hey, there's talks about F1 going back there, and I think that is a very good idea, not only because it's would bring another continent onto the F1 grid, or the F1 calendar, that really shouldn't be missing from the F1 calendar. But it's also just such a good track. It has such a beautiful flow, such a good combination of unique corners, nice opportunities for fighting, really, really iconic corners in sunsets. I think Loikop or whatever is what the corner on top of the hill is pronounced is called. Cheetah. the right-hand kink that kills a lot of people and has killed me in the past. So, lovely track, nice overtaking opportunities, beautiful to hot lap, wonderful elevation changes, wonderful scenery with palm trees, with a nice sunset, with, I think, what is it in the background? Johannesburg? I think it's Johannesburg in the background. It's not really putting everything together for me to be able to put it in S tier, but I will definitely agree with Christoph that it should be in A tier. And now the next one is interesting as well, because this one is much in the same way, it's much in the same vein as Brands Hatch, is Laguna Seca. Very short track, no margin for error, no little overtaking opportunities, no straights really, even fewer straights than Brands Hatch has, because at least Brands Hatch has at least the straights between the, I don't know, corners. But Laguna Seca is, first of all, I love the scenery. It's sort of I mean, it's not in the desert, it's in like, it's in Southern California, which is arid enough, but it's still a very deserty and different looking track. It has no grass, it has sand everywhere, and that's pretty unique about it. And I like that it has sand everywhere, because it's just different. It's super fun to hot lap, not necessarily super fun to race there, because you can't really race there, but it has a super iconic corner in the form of a corkscrew, which is absolutely unparalleled. I guess the only thing that really comes close to it is the downhill section of Bathurst, but Bathurst is, I mean, absolute S tier, so no question about that. Our expert in the chat says in the Porsche A and every other car D. And yeah, in the Porsche it's a really good track, but it's also a really good track in the Honda, and it's a very decent track in the Merc. And those are the only cars I've driven. No, I've driven the Aston around there once, and it wasn't bad either. I really enjoyed that. There's no car that I haven't enjoyed Laguna Seca in yet. And on some occasions I've gotten into Laguna Seca practicing, and then I started thinking to myself, God, I fucking hate this track, it's terrible. And then as soon as I got used to it and actually got consistent at it, it was so much fun. And that's why A tier. Even without a Porsche. Even if Christoph says D tier in every other car, A tier in Porsche, I'm thinking A tier overall. Sure, there's cars that are better at it, but it's not really gonna detract from the track, right? So, A tier is definitely filling up. Looking at the... oh yeah, well, looking at the rest of the tracks, there's definitely more candidates for A tier. But I think those are gonna take a while, because the next one is Oulton Park. And Oulton Park is very similar to Laguna Seca, Zolder, whatever. Very... What am I seeing in the chat? What is this? Is this blasphemy I'm seeing? It's a rare gem. Gem in big quotation marks. It's so unusual. It's so different. It's a rallycross track. And I will stand by that. It is not a track for GT... I mean, it's... what is it? A grade C track? It's gotta be a grade C track. It's not. It can't be a grade B track. Nürburgring, Nordschleife is a grade C track for context. Kyalami right now is a grade B track, for example. Surely Oulton Park is a grade C track, because the surface is absolutely fucking atrocious. It's like 1912 London cobblestone road. It has cool corners. I really like the hairpin. I really like the left-hand kink before the hairpin. That actually is a really fun section. And the final section of the track is also kind of fun. But then the first hairpin is interesting. It's very unique. And if you get it really right, it's fun, but it's hard to get really right. And then the second hairpin is atrocious, because it just takes any flow out of the track. Turn 1, not a huge fan. Turn 2, not a huge fan. And turn 2, in some cars, you can't even really maximize the track, because the outside of the track is so fucking bumpy that you have to leave a bit of space. Which, I guess that's what a lot of people like about it, and I can see that's what Christoph likes about it as well. I love it because it's a unique challenge, and lots of people don't like it. including me. I don't hate it, but I definitely don't like it. I appreciate its differences. I appreciate its uniqueness, which is not a word, but tough luck. But I really don't appreciate the surface and the second chicane and just how everything comes together, and that it's not raceable at all. It's similar to. Okay, let's look at our collection of tracks we can't race at, which is Laguna Seca, Brands Hatch, and Zandvoort. And I really like Laguna Seca, but it's not raceable, so it's A tier. I kinda like Brands Hatch, but it's not raceable, so it's B tier. And I don't really like Zandvoort, and it's not raceable, so C tier. And that's where Old Park is gonna go as well. And I think that's generous. I think C tier is the C tier right now is sort of the. You're very close to slipping into D tier if you're not careful. You better study for the next one to still stay in C tier. But if you get a tiny bit worse, you're in D tier. That's what C tier is right now. And Misano might be changing that, because right now I'm sort of leaning to C tier on Misano as well. Short pit lane enables strategy games. Ooh, divorce papers incoming. Well, I mean, I've been thinking about that for a long time now, Christoph. Sort of grown apart in our love of different tracks. I know we both still love Paul Ricard and Kielami, but differences are just too big in terms of Oulton Park, man. I'm not sure if I can go on like this. But anyway, Misano, haven't raced there in a while. Really been a long time, and no, it hasn't been super long since I've raced there, but I actually can't. No, okay, the last race I had there was not fun, because I tried overtaking someone into the kink before the hairpin, and that went wrong, and I got a penalty, even though I'm pretty adamant that I wasn't at fault. And I also spun out, and the other guy continued, and they still gave me a penalty. But still, it's an interesting track. It's sort of a Paul Ricard in the fact that it has so much runoff, but it's small, it's tiny, and it's not really raceable. You can overtake there. It's not as hard as overtaking at Laguna Seca, but it's not super easy. It's such a rare track. You really don't see it a lot. You see it even less than Zolder and whatever. It's just sort of yeah, it's the forgotten Italian child. I mean, Italy has Monza and it has Imola, which are two really good tracks. And it has a lot of other good tracks. But then Misano is just sort of meh. It's just there. It has cool night races in real life. There's been a DTM night race there, which was cool to watch. I think a lot of the races I've done there in ACC have been night races. It's also the scene of my most, not sure if it's the most painful takeouts I've gotten, but it's definitely the most insane way I've gotten taken out, which was someone somehow spinning halfway down this little back straight and then rejoining right when I was driving past, and rejoining all the way across the track, and just, yeah, meeting me at like 200, probably more than 200 kilometers an hour, and I just went into the wall and did 5 360s or something, and my car was toast and nothing less. And that's where I lost my first season of OR, where I could have won the first OR championship, but I mean, I lost it in a few places, but this was probably the biggest place. Oh, and has a place in your heart because of some legendary things I did there in OR finals. Okay, yeah, my OR experience at Misano has been horrid. Absolutely horrid. And he's also saying, for me, Misano is B, although it is one of my strongest tracks. Yeah, that's fair enough. It's also a very Porsche-central track. But, I mean, looking at what we have in B tier, which is Zolder and Brands Hatch and Imola, which I also like, which I all like. I can't say I like Misano, I just don't dislike it. It's C tier. It's definitely above, Zandvoort and Oulton Park, but it can't be in B tier. It can't. I like it more in the Bentley. Interesting. That's definitely interesting. Okay. Speaking of interesting, or sort of not interesting, Nürburgring is sort of just a track. Just a pretty vanilla track. It's very an all-round track. It has a start-finish straight that's not too short, not too long. It has a back straight that's not too short, not too long. It has overtaking opportunities. I've had some really, really, really good battles at Nürburgring well, I've had a battle that started from the starting line to the Dunlop corner, which is this little hairpin. Literally all the way side by side. Yeah, B2A is what the chat is saying. And I can understand that. I think a while ago I would have put it in A. It used to be one of my favorite tracks, but I've sort of just gotten bored of it. It's a very popular track, but it doesn't really hold anything super special for me. The Mercedes Arena is not a really fun place on the track, but most of the other corners are pretty fun. I don't really like the little left-right combo before the back straight. That's not super fun either. But all the other corners are pretty fun. You can have some good racing there, but it's just sorta... It's okay. It's just sorta... Alright. Schumacher is a special. It's iconic and it's fun. And the Dunlop corner is fun as well. But there's nothing that really stands out about it that would justify putting it into A tier. All of these tracks have something very special. Monza with the long straights, Paul Ricard with the long straight plus super weird racing lines combination. Kyalami is Kyalami, and then... Oh, Kyalami is S for my home track. I can understand that, for sure. I think Kyalami is a home track that you can be very proud about. Easily best track in Africa. I mean, to be honest, there's not a lot of other tracks in Africa. There's, I guess, a city circuit in Marrakesh, but that kind of sucks. Yeah, think about it, it is the only African permanent track that I can think about. There's definitely a few others, but it's easily the prime motorsport venue in Africa, and it is, I think, in a good position to be called one of the best tracks in the world. So, it's at the top of A tier for sure. It's ahead of Monza, easily. Come on. Come on! It's ahead of Monza. Probably ahead of all these other as well. Monza goes to the bottom of A. Come on. Monza goes to the bottom of A tier, and then the rest is like this. There we go. Yeah, NURBS is a B then. I can't see NURBS putting in NURBS with these guys, but it's gonna be moving into B tier, and I'm not gonna be sorting B tier because I can't really make my mind up about that. But yeah, it is a strong B tier. It's close to A tier. A while ago I would have put it into A tier. It used to be one of my favorite tracks, maybe my favorite tracks early on in my ACC career, but definitely no longer is. It's just gotten kind of stale. But speaking of stale, Silverstone is such a stale track. It's boring. Silverstone is so mad boring. Draco hopes we get it in F1 next year. I sure hope so too, and it's looking very good. I think the talks about getting Kyalami into F1 are looking very strong. And by the way, is it Kyalami or is it Kyalami? I don't know. For some reason, I've always been saying Kyalami, but I'm hearing a lot of people say Kyalami. They both sound good. Kyalami, whichever version it is a really good sounding name. Probably the best sounding track as well of all of these. But I mean, Silverstone also sounds cool. But I don't like Silverstone, so definitely no competition for Kyalami, whatever. Second one, is it Kyalami? Okay, fair enough. How are we going with Kyalami then? Kyalami is sort of easier to say, but Kyalami, yeah. Yeah, fair enough. Silverstone. Such a flat track. It hasn't been long since I've seen a cool YouTube video of a guy who took Silverstone, put it into Assetto Corsa, the original Assetto Corsa, and bumped up the elevation of Silverstone by 4 or 5 times. And the curbs were ridiculous, all the buildings and walls around the track were ridiculous, but the track was just flat as hell. It was just flat. The only tiny bit of elevation was, I think, between the corner is it Stowe? I think it's Stowe. Between Stowe and the chicane. That's the only tiny bit of elevation there is. And sure, it makes sense, it's a fucking runway. It's a RAF runway, so it's gotta be flat, but that just doesn't really make it a super good track. It's an iconic track. It's been on the F1 calendar since, I think, almost the very start. I don't think it's been there since 1950, but it's been there since almost the very start. It has a cool history of just being an RAF track and going through so many different changes. And yeah, it does produce good racing in F1, but it just feels kind of too big for GT3s. It's such a wide track. Unnecessarily wide, so wide and flat. It definitely feels like an airport runway. Do I put it in D tier? Yeah, Silverstone is boring as hell. Yeah, Draco is saying boring as hell. Christoph is saying boring and hard to master. Like at Halloween receiving an orange instead of sweets. I'm liking that comparison. The orange is a very iconic fruit, and it's a fruit that has it been associated with Halloween for a long time? I'm not sure about that, but your grandma is definitely gonna tell you about eating oranges as sort of a snack. And today's kids, those rascals, they don't appreciate those oranges anymore. They always just eat sweets and TikTok and whatever. Whatever. Silverstone. Orange in your Halloween baskets. Is it that bad? I'm teetering between C and D. I like it more than Hungaroring. I like it less than Zandvoort and Misano. I think because D tier is just so empty, I gotta be putting it in D tier. And by the way, it's been in Jardier's top 5 tracks of ACC list, and that's the one I was talking about earlier. That's definitely not gonna be in my top 5 list. Right now, top 5 list is gonna be, well, these 5 tracks. Monza probably just outside the top 5. But this one, Snetterton is... What I mean, really? Yeah, it was in... Well, I think it wasn't necessarily his 5 favorite tracks, but it's sort of his 5 tracks that he would recommend to everyone to practice at. And I can understand that, because Silverstone is a very popular track for some reason, unfortunately. A lot of endurance races there, a lot of just league races there. It's a popular track. I mean, in real life, it's so historic. It's one of the better venues for F1. But it's definitely not super fun in ACC. And speaking of not super fun in ACC, Snetterton is weird. Snetterton is so fucking weird. I've raced one short race there, and I'm glad that was my only race there. Because it's not fun. It's similar, it's just a baby version of Silverstone is what it feels like. With a bit more hairpins and stuff, but it's also super flat. It's not quite as wide, because it's also just a smaller track. Has a lot of awkward corners, also a few fun corners. I remember it being alright for racing, but like I said, this is the track, apart from the American tracks, that I have the least experience with. So I don't feel super confident giving it a hard rating, but it's just, it shows up very little. When it shows up, I'm not looking forward to it. Okay. Snet is C for Christoph and A for Draco, interesting. Did several races there, last sector is challenging, which I like, the middle sector is crap. Yeah, that's fair enough. Actually, for some reason, remember Snetterton from, what's it called? Toka Race Driver 3 or something, which in Germany was called DTM Race Driver 3. That's where I've raced it, and I probably only raced it like twice. Who put Mountain S tier? We have awakened the Ancient One from his slumber, and we have angered him. Marcel, good to have you on board. Haven't seen you in a while. But you have definitely caught me in an interesting moment, which is raiding tracks. And we're raiding Snetterton, and yes, Mount Panorama, easily S tier, my favorite track of all time, and I will go to war to defend that opinion. But Snetterton, I was thinking about F tier, because I know a lot of people don't like Snetterton, and I definitely don't like it either, but I have such little experience there. And Christoph is saying C, Draco is saying A, so I can't bring myself to put it in F tier, so it's gonna be joining these two friends in D tier. Fucking Paul in A tier, that's right, my friend. I mean, I've been saying it for a long time, I think, that I really like Forecard. It's a really underrated track, in my opinion. But definitely not underrated. Let's leave Snetterton behind, let's leave these least behind Spa. Very topical, because I've just done 2 races there, and they were both beautiful. P3 in the first race, P2 in the second race. The second race was insane. I definitely wasn't fast at all in the second race, and the 2 guys that smoked me in the first race would have smoked me as well in the second race. But in fact, I actually got smoked by an M6. I messed up. Well, I didn't really mess up my quali, but I got into the dirty air of a Muppet, which fucked up the second half of my second sector and the last sector, and I ran out of bounds. So I didn't get a proper quali lap in. If I had gotten a proper quali lap in, I would have started on pole, and I might have kept that pole. But the way it happened, I started in P2 with the M6 in P1, and I actually got past him at the end of Eau Rouge, and had a better exit out of Eau Rouge, and then he just started turning on those afterburners and going. And by the braking zone into Lacombe, he was a full car length ahead of me. It was insane. He was so incredibly slow in the corners, and then he just pulled away while I was in the slipstream on the straights. And then not long after that, towards the halfway point of the race, I started losing pressures in my tires, not sure why, and the car turned into a drift car, and I had a very, very scary dying shit pants brown coat brown moment at Eau Rouge there. But enough of that, I finished P2. All good. Definitely a wild race. Spa is a cool track. Spa is just... no one hates Spa. Although, Christoph is giving it a C, which, I mean, is not hating, but it's definitely disliking, which is interesting. Draco, S tier, fair enough. A lot of people are giving it S tiers. Or I can see a lot of people giving it S tiers. Before 24-hour race, it was an S. After race, it was a C. Holy shit. One race? How does one race destroy your opinion of a track like that? I like it. I started out thinking about putting in, well, yeah, early on in my ACC career, I was crap at Spa. It was probably my weakest track. Well, the weakest one of the common and well-liked tracks. And I maybe would have put it in C tier, maybe P tier. But right now, honestly, on the edge between S and A. It's a super iconic track, and in a much better way than Silverstone. Well, it's not really in a much better way than Silverstone, but it also has a cool history of just being a road racing track early on, and then people deciding it's too dangerous, and building a normal track out of it, and it's still not a normal track, and it's still dangerous. And they basically removed the most dangerous corner in the world from it, from the days when it was still a road racing track, which I don't know what it's called right now. And they basically added another most dangerous corner in the world, which is Eau Rouge, which they didn't really add, but they just left in there, because I think that's part of the original layout. But, oh, so many iconic corners. Eau Rouge, well, okay, nothing really comes close to Eau Rouge, but everyone knows Lacombe, everyone knows Pouhon, everyone knows Stavelot and Blanchimont, everyone knows La Source. All fun corners, super fun combo. Only thing I really don't like about Spa is the low grip surface. It's the only thing about it that I can't grow to like. But it's so hard. AOB, S or A. And by the way, welcome Moditz. Welcome aboard to this beautiful jazz evening. How close are we to ending it, by the way? Oh, we're only halfway through. Okay, it's been 50 minutes. God damn. Okay, and I haven't even gotten to the long part yet. Spa, SRA. Draco has done a 2-hour race there. The more I raced there, the more boring it became. That's how I feel about Nürburgring, but definitely on Spa. The more I raced there, the more I liked it. Because it's tricky. It's unique. It's iconic. I hope it stays on the F1 calendar. It's the very bottom of S tier. But it's just about an S tier. I like it more than Kyalami, probably, and I like it more than Laguna Seca, and I like it more than Porica, and I definitely like it more than Monza, so... Yeah. I mean, Kyalami is one that It's on the upper end of A, and then Spa is on the lower end of S. I think Spa is only a tiny margin ahead of Kyalami. But that's where it is. And then Suzuka is gonna fill up our S tier, A tier even more. Suzuka is a surprisingly rare track, actually. I haven't raced that much there recently, but it's a cool track. Super amazing flow. Basically no corner that I dislike there, except sort of the chicane. The chicane is kind of crap, but it's a tricky chicane. And if you've got the chicane figured out, it's still kind of fun. Great for racing, great for hot lapping. Also a really low grip surface, kind of like Spa. It doesn't have the iconicness, whatever, of Spa. And it also doesn't have the amazing variety of Spa. It also has a super iconic corner in the name of 130R, but 130R isn't as cool as Eau Rouge. Wait a minute, what's... The Magnum PI of Alpha Sim Sport. Let me check that. Let me check if that is accurate or if I'm being defamed. Okay. 1 second. Okay. Microphone wants to be an ass. Magnum PI. I think, yeah, that's the one. That's the one I'm thinking about. I mean, my mustache is definitely not as glorious as his. And I got the little extra thing that doesn't make it just a mustache, but I honestly don't know what to call it. And to be fair, definitely more glorious hair on my end, easily. Shirt, similar style. Similar style for sure. I would have to do, you know, one of these to be 100% on points, but I'm definitely not gonna do that unless there's something in it for me. I'm not gonna scar you unless you want to be scarred, in which case, again, I need an incentive, I guess. No. Only missing the red Ferrari, which he doesn't actually own. Yeah, I mean, we're similar on that one. I don't own a red Ferrari. I would love to, but isn't that a thing we all would love? But I mean, okay, I'm gonna say Magnum PI is a much better person to be compared to than Günther from the Tralala song. That I'm definitely gonna be appreciating that a lot more. Yeah, I've got a bunch of interesting comparisons recently. Ever since I started growing the mustache, in quotes. It's only been like half a year since I've had that. And to be honest, if I you know, had the choice, just like owning a red Ferrari, I would also have more of a beard. But it's easier said than done. But combined with the long hair, I think you really want to have a beard, because it looks weird if you don't have a beard. Or this, whatever you want to call it. But enough about my facial hairstyle choices. How do we get here? We have 3 tracks to vote on. And those 3 tracks are interesting, because I don't have any experience. Well, I have very little experience in any of them, so let us pause the smooth jazz and let us turn on the ACC noise again, and let us turn up the sound, because I will be doing just a handful of laps around each of these tracks, so I can form sort of an opinion, even just a tiny bit of an opinion. Because, as I've said, I've only done, 3 laps around Kota in the M2, just for the hell of it, and then like 2 laps around Indy, and then no laps, but watched the race and commentated the race. Wait. Commentated the race around Watkins Glen. Aggressive preset, get the feel out of here. Okay. Let's do... Is it 11-1? I think it's 11-1, right? We'll see. No, it's 1-11. Kota in GT3 is F. Yeah, I haven't heard good things about Kota and Indy. 1-11, there we go. Lots of coolness factor. Yeah, I know, track limits. And I've seen those track limits in the M2 with those few laps that I've done around here. Hey, come on. Come on! There we go. Yeah, I haven't heard good things about it. The thing is, I really like Kota as an F1 track. I like watching it, and it also just seems like a really cool track. I mean, look at this turn 1. Looking at the track map looks really cool. I have no... There's the board. There we go. It just looks like such a cool track, but then you drive it and it's... Apparently... Whoa. Apparently, just sorta... not great. Okay. Let's see if I can figure out these corners. Yeah, okay. So... Those curbs... Oh, whoa. Okay. These curbs are definitely not part of the track. Which is weird, because usually in ACC... you can go to the end of the curve. But in this instance... it's the white line. Which is sorta dumb, I gotta say. Okay. And please bear with me, because as I said, I've driven 3 laps in the M2 around here, and they were terrible, because those were my first ever laps in the M2. Love Kota, just say the track limits, is what Draco is saying. The white line in front of the curve is the wider is the end. Yeah, I know. Which is sad. But I guess once I get used to it, maybe it's not that bad. Okay, I have no idea where to brake here. Definitely a lot later than what I just did. Okay, and this... Okay, this seems like a really awkward second sector. I'm gonna follow this rubbered-in line. Wow, especially this corner. Oh, some curb slides. Without the rubbered-in line, I probably would have no idea where to go. Okay. I don't know why I did try to take that corner flat. It's definitely not happening. Cool corner though, actually. Okay. Nope, that is not a fast corner. Okay. I think we can... Can we keep second gear? Ah, probably not. Okay. Hope they put that one, Sebring and Road Atlanta at some point. Oh, and Road America. Oh yeah. Probably would have been a better choice, but then again, I mean... Oh wow, okay. For a second that seemed like I was way too late in the brakes. But it's just so violently uphill. But yeah. I mean, Kota is a not really iconic track. Okay, already invalidated again. And I was actually trying to be careful this time. Okay, okay, that definitely gets tighter, that's weird. Okay, this is definitely a second gear corner. Wow, okay. Oh, that's so weird. But yeah, I mean... Can you really justify not putting in Kota for the sake of Road America and Road Atlanta and whatever? Not sure. It's an important track. They paid a lot of money for it. Yeah, it's interesting. I don't hate it so far. Maybe if I drove a race here and actually had to deal with the track limits, then I would very quickly hate it. Okay, I can still brake a lot later than this. But there we go. I think for the first time ever, you're seeing me learn a new track live. Okay. This corner is slower than it looks. Ugh. Have to try Kota and Indy at some points. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying Indy after this as well. So I'm doing one more lap at Kota. And then it's Indy time. Okay, I might want to be... Oh god, this corner is deceptively slow. And this is definitely a first gear corner for the Honda. I think they're both in the M2 league. Yeah, fair enough. It's a good combination, I guess. New stuff. I was a bit early on the brakes, to be honest. And then, oh, it's wow. It's tricky. Because you feel like you're too early on the brakes, but... too late on the brakes, but then you're too early, actually. I mean, this one just feels like a bad Maggotts and Beckett's. Ah, it's really awkward, this place. It definitely feels awkward. Really, a lot of the track feels awkward. And not just that first flowing sector, but also the second sector is gonna be feeling a lot more awkward, probably. Do you even have the track medals for Kota? I mean, apparently I'm on 99 track medals, but like I said, I've driven 3 laps around Kota in the M2, which is definitely not enough to prepare you for GT3 laps. And I've driven like 2 laps around Indy. God, you have to wait so long before you get on the gas here. Then this one. This is so awkward. I hate this one, for sure. And then I have no idea what line to take for this one. So I don't want to be going too wide, because I still want to get back to the right. And prepare for this corner that is... Man, probably a bit too fast for second gear, but maybe also a bit too slow for first gear. For third gear. And then I miss my final corner. Yeah. Awkward. So awkward. Okay, that last lap was a 209. Let's try a tiny bit faster. Okay. Let's not try a tiny bit faster. Let's end it here. What? Did I brake that much later there? Where did I brake here? Definitely brake too early on this one. Which is just before the white line. And then here. Basically the same place. Oh, but I probably should have come in a bit to the left. Oh well. Okay, that's my first Kota experience and... Oh, come on. Doesn't taste that well so far. Let's see what the masses think. Do we have any ratings? Kota in GT3 is F, is what Christoph is saying. Which, yeah, it's not F for me just yet. I think I'm gonna carefully put it in D tier. Ah, right. I forgot about this. I guess Kota looks like that now. Enjoy. Yeah, I'm gonna have to carefully put it in D tier. The first sector seems super awkward. Third sector seems super awkward. Not really liking it. Maybe if you really get used to it and really get used to the track limits, then it can be sort of fun. But Draco says it's B, alright, which is fair enough. Yeah, I guess, yeah, if you get used to it. But the thing is, with a lot of tracks in ACC, I've noticed that I'm sort of a perfectionist. And if I don't get a track perfectly, then I don't like it. And there's a lot of tracks that are very, very hard to get perfect. And Kota seems like one of those, where it's just so hard to... It seems so hard to be consistent. It seems like you need a lot of practice to be really consistent, really on top of your game there. Where did you put the Glen? The Glen hasn't had a rating yet, because I haven't driven there. I was saying earlier, I haven't done any of the new tracks yet, any of the American tracks, which is why I'm doing 3 laps around each one. And then I'll rate them. So, that's what's up right now. The Glen is up. Let's give that a shot. And after that, it's off to Indy. And you'll like it. Yeah, I have that feeling as well. I have seen plenty of praise for the Glen. I have commentated the OR Europe race there. And it seems like an amazing track for GT3 cars. Unlike Kota and apparently unlike Indy as well. Because I haven't been hearing a lot of good stuff about Kota and Indy. Now, we forgot something. We need less fuel. Boom. And we need brake pads 1. Okay. It's S for me. Minimum an A. Honestly, just from looking at it, I can understand that. Okay. Now these, like I said, are gonna be my absolute first laps around Watkins Glen. I haven't driven a single lap around here. In no car, not even the N2. But so far, I mean, first sector, it looked amazing from the outside. I was definitely too late. Was it too late or did I just turn in too late? Okay, but that is a lot of curve you get here, and then this is the... Oh wow, okay. Definitely a faster corner than it seems. Okay, no idea what the braking point for this one is gonna be. No, not even seeing any really good markers for it. Oh yeah, this... Oh, right. Let's change this to what it should be. But yeah, I've seen cars slide around here a lot in that corner. Oh, that's definitely a bit of a slow corner. But I'm already liking it. It has a really... I mean, every corner has a pretty good... That's a very close one. Is this one... That's definitely not flat. Okay, this one's definitely a third gear corner. I like it. And as you can see, it didn't really take me as... I mean, I'm definitely not good at it. I literally just started practicing, or driving it, experiencing it. Nice track limits, I gotta say. But I'm already kinda getting the hang of it, a tiny bit. I definitely don't look as awkward as I did at Kota, I think. First up chicane, drop a gear at 300 and yeet it through. One gear? Oh wow, okay. No. Definitely no dropping... I dropped 2 gears and I was still too fast. But yeah, 300 seems like a pretty good braking marker for that. I have no idea about this braking marker for this one. Can take all the curb on the outside of motor corners, yep. Okay, not a slidey this time. Tire pressures are definitely too low, but whatever. Oh yeah, right, I forgot about this one. This one is deceptively slow. This one is also a bit tricky on the exits. Let's see if that's just a lift. Okay, that was definitely too early on the turn in. But if you... probably if you turn in right, then it is just a lift. And the exit out of the final corner feels really good as well. Oof. I think that was close to track limits, but still. And then these corners, they're called nothing corners. They're sort of useless in a racing sense, but they are just fun. It's just a good feeling to go through there. Okay, that was a lot better. Oh god. I mean, it's intuitive. I'm definitely not fast there, but I think I've got the lines more or less figured out and that sort of stuff. Go down to 4th, and then 3 for... Ah, okay, interesting. Huh. I mean, might have to try that as time goes on as well. That's definitely a bit early on the brakes. No! Oh, the white part is the fucking curve? That's horrid. That's not fair. I mean, the white part is not part of the curve anymore. Okay. Nah, probably not. 3rd gear for that one. Let's do one more. I want to get a valid lap in there. This was a 46. You got DM, by the way. Okay. Fair enough, Christoph. I will check that in a second. But this track is fun. And I will gladly do another lap around here. Just to get a feel for it. Yeah. Okay. Should also look at the road though. I think I can stay in 5th. Until the brake is on. Okay, that was a bit late in turning probably. Yeah. I think going down to 3rd for the second part of the chicane is probably the right thing to do in the Honda as well. This one is interesting. I really don't know the braking marker for it. Exeter, this one is fun. And then this is the one that's kind of my nemesis so far. Yeah, still don't feel like I've got the hang of it. Okay, that's probably too late in turning. Probably want to be... Oh, wow. Fuck. Okay, that... It might have been on for an alright lap time, but definitely not now. But it's fun. I approve. A lot. Yeah. Oh, it's still a 46. I mean, one more lap and I'll be doing a 45, and then I'm sure with enough practice I'll be in a 44 as well. So, fun. Fun. Good track. Very good track. I can't say I have the personal connection to it to put it in... Oh, wow, that's... Sorry about that. Why did those get saved as PNGs and not as JPEGs? Whatever. 144.4 is my PB. Damn, alright. Oh, I think I should be getting to the 43s then. Should I? Who knows? But yeah, I don't have the personal connection to it, or enough, whatever, enough experience there to be putting it into S tier. But it's, even within those first 3 laps, super fun. Really fun track. I think when that comes up in a league, I'll really be looking forward to it. To be learning a new track, because I haven't learned a new track in a while. Yeah. That's all I can say about that. It has amazing flow, it has really fun corners, even if the turn 2, 3, 4 are just kind of nothing corners. Super fun, the runoff as well. Some corners have a lot of runoff, some don't at all, so that's cool. But that's it for Watkins Glen. We have to give Indy another shot. And Indy, honestly, in the M2, in those 2-3 laps I did, felt worse than Kota. But we'll see what the Honda has to say about that. Come on, let's get the TC right from the start. Zoom. Okay. Indy. I remember it being super fucking awkward. And also the pit lane being super fucking long. But I will be a nice, friendly boy. Indy is in the next GT3 RTO league. Or is it Watkins? Please let it be Watkins. Because I can already tell you I'll be liking Watkins more than Indy for sure. It's gonna be interesting to see how I stack up at a track that I haven't done at all so far. Because I've raced at all tracks so far, pretty extensively, except... oh right, the pit exit is stupid. I haven't really raced at Snetterton a lot. I've just had one short race there, and that was enough for me. Oh well, that's first gear. It's bumpy, I gotta say. This is quite, okay, quite bumpy. And slippery? I mean, tires are still cold, but still. Alright, this is the weird exit that is super counterintuitive. The Glen and Indy, both of them. Oh lord, okay. It's gonna be interesting. Right, this has a really dumb sausage curve. It looks so awkward, I know. Can I just... oh wow, okay. Can I just barrel over that inside curve there? I'll have to find out. Hey, oval. Just the tiniest bit. Oh wow, okay. So we brake before the 300... before the first board even shows up, I guess. Is that a first gear corner? It's... yeah, maybe? I don't know. Is this flat? No, probably not. Yeah. Already feels a lot more awkward than Watkins Glen. Watkins Glen was super intuitive. Okay, let's see where we break. Let's pick 400. That was not it. Let's pick 500 next time. I mean, Indy is also... at least Kota has a lot of elevation change. Indy is very much a Silverstone airfields, and I mean, fair enough, it's an oval track with something bolted onto it. Wow, it's... the rear has no grip though. Let's go up to TC2. I mean, yeah, the tires are way too fucking low. Okay, that was... I don't know why I want to brake so early for this corner. Not sure if it even is a first gear corner. Okay, let's see if we can just... okay, I mean the left's invalid anyway. But we'll have more chances to barrel through the insides. Okay, this one before the 300 board. Yeah, that was probably still a bit too late. Okay, let's see if we... no, we can definitely not keep it flat. Have to lift a tiny bit early on, probably. I mean, with a perfect line, maybe. I don't know. Okay, 500 this time. Okay. Braking point was pretty good. I think I was still carrying too much speed, though. Usually it's flat. Well, great. Let me get used to it in peace. Okay, I mean this right hand kink is probably also flat. Not supposed to be flat. Not nearly as intuitive as Watkins Glen is, for sure. Okay, surely I can keep second gear for that one in the future. Okay, definitely not just a lift, then a tiny bit of brake there. Wow, okay. Felt like I was actually early enough there, but definitely not. Whoa! Maybe it's the setup, maybe it's me. I don't know. Can't go flat there. Not at all. Okay, this one is definitely flat. Oh man. Okay, let's try second gear for this one. Yeah, I mean, even if I don't fuck it up and hit the... Lovely! God, it has so many awkward corners. This might also be a valid second gear corner. Hey, that was flat! Amazing! Maybe I just need slightly warmer tires and a slightly better line.
Right on the fastest laps.
Oh, that was actually lap time, 1:38, amazing. Let's see if we can do that a tiny bit better. Ah, so careful on the exit. It's such a weird exit, that one. And I don't know why I always want to brake too early for this one. That was okay, too early. Let's see if this one is a second gear corner actually. Yeah, maybe just about. Oh wow, okay. Not really flat for me. I mean, the setup is default aggressive, and default aggressive historically is terrible in the Honda. So just barely a 136 for my, not really first lap, but first 3 laps at Indy. Am I enjoying it? No. No. Definitely not. Am I hating it? I'm not sure if I like it. I think I like it a tiny bit better than Kota so far. But do I? No. Do I like it less? I don't like it more. No. It's not C tier. It's D tier as well. That's where we gotta put it for now. I don't want to be too polarizing on these 3 new tracks by putting one of them in S tier and one of them in F tier or something, because I really just don't have the experience necessary to do that, I guess. But A and double D, fair enough. I guess that's where I gotta put it. I mean, Indy seems like it could be kind of fun for racing in some perspectives, because it has different lines, I think. It definitely feels like it has different lines. Feels like it has more different lines than Watkins Glen for sure. Has some longish straights. The little picture I've got here is actually kind of wrong, because we're driving that little loop down here, not the full straights. But it's really awkward. Really hard to judge braking points. A lot of annoying sausage curbs. So I guess that's where we're gonna have to leave it for now. Indy, along with Kota. And then Watkins Glen goes into A. And as soon as I've got more experience, I might have to move some of them up or down. Maybe Watkins goes into S tier, who knows? Probably not going to be doing another one of these, at least for a long while. Maybe in a year or so, if there's even newer tracks or whatever. But I think, what if I go into presentation mode? Does that look better? I guess a tiny bit. I guess you can now screenshot this and peddle it as the official Simon Bauer Corino approved ACC track tier list. That's what we've got right now. I was actually... Oh, how could I forget? How tragic. Quite, okay. Right. With that, we've reached the end of the tier list making and the end of the stream. I will stop talking like that. That is dumb. It's been fun. LFM races have been fun. Making ACC track tier list has been fun. Honestly, seeing Barcelona down there all alone. Maybe one of those true new tracks needs to be down in F one day. Who knows? Definitely too early to comment on that just yet. But it was good having you on board. The two LFM races were kind of lonely, but it was especially fun having you on board for the tier list, because that's actually where I needed your input, and I was happy to have your input. So thank you for that. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you had a decent time watching me be a dumbass and voice my stupid opinions. And with that, guess that's where I gotta cap it off. Is Linksy still online? Of course he is. Why wouldn't he be online? Right. Let us raid Linksy. It's been a pleasure. I hope you had a good evening. Christoph, I hope you had an interesting race. I'll definitely be happy to talk to you about it in a second. But yeah, have a good evening, have a good night. It's been fun having you aboard. I hope my new microphone is doing the channel justice. And with that, I hope to see you next time. Say hello to Lixie from me, and until then, goodbye. See ya.